Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Monday, May 16, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 500 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting picks that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Toronto Blue Jays vs Seattle Mariners. Our team pick is Toronto, minus 1.5 runs. And here is why. For the Blue Jays, they'll be looking for Yusei Kikuchi to set the tone on Monday night. The lefty has struggled himself this season, coming into this one with a 1-1 record and 4.15 ERA on the season. It hasn't helped that he's had a difficult slate of opponents of late, making 3 starts against the Yankees, 2 against the Astros, and 1 against the Red Sox, across his last 6 starts overall. His improvement comes at a key time though, as he comes in off 11.1 innings of work over his last 2 starts, both against the Yankees. As a former Mariner himself, he'll be well versed in how to approach this lineup as well. The Mariners have had an interesting start to the season, and after a strong second-half surge last year, much was expected for them this season. It hasn't been a seamless start to the year, and they find themselves in 3rd place in the AL West as they head into the midweek. Even though they have only gone 4-6 over their last 10 games, they are thinking that they might have finally turned a corner after taking down the Mets in their series over the weekend, proving that they can compete with some of the best teams in baseball. Adding in that they played well against the Blue Jays last season, they should have quite a bit of confidence. The road hasn't been the kindest to them, with their 7-12 record away from home, but they should still be able to make this a competitive matchup. Seattle's struggles are somewhat understandable considering some of the injuries that they continue to deal with, especially to their position players. Kyle Lewis, knee, continues to be a massive absence, while Evan White, groin, and Mitch Haniger, ankle, only serve to further deplete the lineup. Adding in a trio of relievers having been ruled out, including Ken Giles, finger, their depth could be tested early. The Blue Jays will certainly be happy to be back at home, and considering their success in Canada and Seattle's struggles on the road, this is the perfect opportunity for them to grab the win. The Mariners continue to battle key injuries to their lineup, and their inability to generate much consistency is difficult to overlook. Adding in that they'll be facing Kikuchi, their former teammate, they could struggle against someone who knows how to navigate this order. Not to be forgotten are Toronto's heavy hitters, who have the ability on a given night to take it over, which will be too much for the Mariners to try to match. Our total pick is over 8.5 runs. The Blue Jays return home after a brutal 2-7 road trip that included stops at Cleveland, New York, and Tampa Bay. After dropping all 3 series on the trip, Toronto will be looking to regroup. Surprisingly, the Blue Jays have struggled to score consistently during the start of 2022, ranking just 22nd, averaging 3.82 runs per game. While the Blue Jays rank 7th overall in home runs, they have struggled to score in other ways, owning just a .233 team batting average and .675 OPS. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leads the squad in average, .280, and RBIs, 20, while George Springer tops the club with 7 home runs. The Mariners entered the weekend as losers of 13 out of 16 games. They took a big step in the right direction by taking 2 of 3 in Queens, and will now look to put together a sustained stretch of good play. Up to this point, Seattle's offense has ranged towards the middle of the pack, averaging just over 4 runs per game, 19th overall. The Mariners are hitting a collective .235, 15th, with a team ops of .692, 14th. Ty France has been excellent, leading the club with a pristine .331 batting average and 25 RBIs. Eugenio Suarez leads the way with 6 home runs. Young phenom Julio Rodriguez is slowly rounding into form after a rough start, going 4/4 while launching his 2nd home run of the season on Sunday. New York Mets vs St. Louis Cardinals. Our team pick is St. Louis minus 1.5 runs. Cards come into this 4-game series following a rousing series win over the Giants at home. After losing 2 of 3 to Baltimore, the Cardinals regrouped to take 2 of 3 from the Giants. On Sunday night, the Cardinals' offense took center stage as 2 future Hall of Famers took center stage. Catcher Yadier Molina, who had just 2 RBI coming into the game, drove in 4 runs including a 2-run home run. Longtime teammate Albert Pujols had a multi-hit game and reached base 4 times with 2 walks as well in the runaway Cardinals win. Red-hot Nolan Arenado kept up his MVP-level season with his 8th home run. Veteran Adam Wainwright benefited from the offensive onslaught and pitched 6 innings, allowing 3 hits and 2 runs, while striking out 5. With the game out of hand, Pujols came on in the 9th to make his pitching debut, allowing 3 hits and 4 runs, including 2 home runs for make the final score 15-6. The Mets have been consistently efficient this season both on the mound and at the plate. On Sunday, the Mets dropped the rubber match of their 3-game series with Seattle 8-7 to lose their first series of the season. New York did not lose the game without a fight. Trailing 4-1, the Mets scored 4 in the 4th inning to take the lead before Seattle scored 4 more in innings 6 and 7. The Mets would not go away, scoring 2 in the 9th before Pete Alonso stuck out with the bases loaded to end the game. It was a rough outing for the Mets bullpen that allowed 8 hits and 4 runs, including 2 home runs, in just 4.2 innings of work. New York falls to 23-13 but remains comfortably in first place in the NL East. The Cardinals send their best pitcher to the mound in the series opener against a Mets starter, destined to be just an opener in the game. McCullers has been lights out this season as he returns to pre-injury success, and then some. He has a 1.6 WAR and has a 0.94 WHIP this season thus far. Williams is being tasked to make just his 2nd start of the season and is making a start after the Mets utilized 6 pitchers out of the pen on Sunday. The Mets may be forced to let Williams stay in the game a bit longer than they want to in order to rest the bullpen as they deal with an injury to a key starter. Look for the Cardinals to roll in the series opener. Our total pick is over and here is why. The St. Louis Cardinals are just 2 1/2 games behind first place in the National League Central thanks in a big part to solid pitching. St. Louis has the 8th best team ERA at 3.44 and the 17th best WHIP at 1.23, while opposing hitters are averaging .237 at the plate against Cardinals pitching. The St. Louis starting rotation has 12 quality starts which is tied for 8th. Steven Matz has 37 strikeouts to lead St. Louis. Right-hander Miles McCullers gets the nod on the mound for St. Louis and is 3-1 with an ERA of 1.49 with 31 strikeouts. The New York Mets have 153 runs scored, which is 8th best in baseball, thanks to the 5th best team batting average .251 and the 2nd best on-base percentage with .329. New York's slugging percentage is only 16th at .376. Pete Alonso has 8 home runs and 29 RBIs to lead New York in both, while Francisco Lindor has 5 home runs in the 21 RBIs, which is 2nd in both categories. New York has 86 extra base hits with 54 doubles, 4 triples and 28 home runs through the first 35 games. Boston Red Sox vs Houston Astros. Our team pick is Houston, plus 1.5 runs, and here is why. Garrett Whitlock will get the ball for Boston on Monday night, and in what has been a great season, he'll look to keep it going. The righty has a 1-1 record on the season, but an exceptional 2.19 ERA. He's been a little more sluggish of late, only getting through 3 innings in his last start, allowing 3 runs to the Braves. Whitlock has always been solid against Houston in his career, but seeing how many innings he can eat up is crucial. He's only averaging 3 innings per start, but with some of the issues surrounding the bullpen, he needs to give a lengthy start. Offensively, Boston was one of the best in baseball last season, but has struggled to come anywhere near matching that this season. They rank 24th in baseball in runs per 9 innings and ops, while ranking 29th in home runs. Getting behind early will only add to the potential pressure, and this offense needs to start sharp. Xander Bogaerts, .344 average, .393 OBP, has been the lead in the top half of the order, with Rafael Devers, 6 HRs, 19 RBI, adding in the power. Behind those two though, it has been difficult for Boston to lean on anyone consistently, which could be what holds them back yet again on Monday. The Astros will turn to Jake Odorizzi to set the tone on Monday night and get the week started with a win. The righty comes into this one having a decent season so far, sporting a 3-2 record and 3.38 ERA. Of late though, he's stepped into another level and over his last 3 starts, he's combined to go 17.2 innings, allowing a single run and only 6 hits. If he continues to be that sharp against Boston, it's almost certain to be a long night for Boston and a great start to the series for Houston. On the offensive side of things, the Astros have taken a step back from the success of previous seasons, but they remain dangerous. Losing George Springer in the offseason hurt, but they still sit 12th in baseball in runs per 9 innings and 19th in batting average. Adding in being top 10 in ops and home runs, they can certainly put the pressure on Boston to have to keep pace. Pina, .276 average, leads the way and should be a nice addition if he can give it a go, while Kyle Tucker, .360 OBP, has stepped in nicely for Springer. The offense runs through Yordan Alvarez, 11 HRs, and Alex Bregman, 22 RBI, and if either of them get going early, it could be a long night for Boston's arms. There's great value on Houston in this matchup, and even though they'll be on the road, they'll come away with the win. To start, Houston has been one of the best teams in baseball over the last few weeks, and considering their success last season against Boston, they'll have no issues riding that confidence into Monday night. From a pitching perspective, Whitelock won't be able to give Boston the innings that they need, and once it gets to the bullpen, Houston will certainly be able to take over. Additionally, according to Covers.com, the Astros are 9-4 in the last 13 meetings between these two teams. Our total pick is under 9. Boston sends Garrett Whitlock to the mound for Monday's game after having given him an extra day of rest. Whitlock has been a revelation since Boston stole him from the Yankees in the Rule 5 draft, but he is still acclimating to his new role in the starting rotation. His results have been outstanding no matter how the Red Sox have used him, but his pitch count got away from him against the Braves in his last outing, prompting the team to give him some extra rest. Overall, Whitlock has tossed 24.2 innings in 8 appearances, 4 starts, and has posted a tiny 2.19 ERA, backed up by a 2.92 FIP. He boasts an eye-popping 34.7% strikeout rate, shows decent control with an 8.2% BB rate, and carries a stingy 0.93 WHIP. Although his most recent outing only lasted 3 innings, he threw 82 pitches, and if he can be as efficient as he has been every other time he's taken the mound in 2022, he could be in position to take down 5 or even 6 innings against Houston on Monday. Jake Odorizzi gets the ball for the Astros on Monday, and while he looked lost in his first few outings of 2022, he has turned things around over his last 3 starts. He has allowed just 1 earned run over the 3-start span, tossing 17.2 innings overall and racking up 12 strikeouts. His 3.38 ERA looks much more respectable after his recent success, as it was ugly after he got knocked around in his first 3 appearances. There is some cause for concern as he has just a 15.6% strikeout rate and a slightly inflated 10.1% BB rate, but his results have been terrific as of late, and he'll try to keep it going against a lackluster Boston offense on Monday. Disclaimer: no financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information contained in or provided from or through this channel is not intended to be and does not constitute financial advice, investment advice, trading advice, or any other advice. The information on this channel and provided from or through this channel is general in nature and is not specific to you, the user, or anyone else. You should not make any decision, financial, investment, trading, or otherwise, based on any of the information presented on this channel without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or financial advisory.